Welcome to Niv-Mizzet's laboratory. Hope you're excited. First opening hand goes, yeah, I like it. We're going to keep on this one. We've got Intuition, Legacy. We have Shivan Reeve. I also have Chromatic Lantern, which is going to be really nice to help us get down Niv. So, and actually, our opponent said something. All right, we're playing against Kira too. So, that's going to lead off with, I guess at this point, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to lead off with Island, and then anything else we will go on past the turn to our opponent. We're playing Niv-Mizzet, the official head scientist of the Izzet laboratory. The spell can't be countered flying. Whenever you draw a card, Niv-Mizzet deals 1 damage to any target. Then, whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, you draw a card, which is just so lovely. I love it. It's going to get down Shivan Reeve. And that puts us on Mana Drain, or we could get down Lightning Greaves. We're not in a rush, really, for anything else in our hand. In fact, we might want to end up going for Legacy, too. So let's just go and pass the turn to our opponent. Unfortunately, Mana Drain does add colorless mana to our mana pool. And since we are looking at triple blue and triple red, Mana Drain does not really help us get down Niv-Mizzet super quick. So we'll see if we can't use it for something good. Let's go for Legacy. And I guess at this point, what are we going to shuffle back in? I think we're okay with shuffling Intuition in, because I like Mana Drain, I like Chromatic Lantern, I like Lightning Greaves. Yeah, let's go and shuffle that one in. We'll get some good card draw, too. Halimar Depths and then Dawson of Perfection. Ooh, and Cascading Bluffs. Let's go ahead and get down, definitely want to get down Chromatic Lantern. So let's go for Mountain. Let's get down Chromatic Lantern. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. Might be running into a counterspell. Excuse me, we're not. It didn't get countered. It's always when our opponent has yield on, and I said we might run into a counterspell. It's when they don't have yield on, and it just immediately hits the battlefield. So, but oh yeah, we need to cover our opponent's commander. Playing against Kira, Great Glass Spinner. Creatures you control have whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, counter that spell or ability, and that's going to be for the first time each turn. Now we do have at least 4 mana. We can't get down Cascade Bluffs. That does give us 5, but if we get down Dawson, and that's going to put us to where we can't get down Halimar Depths next turn. We can get it down, but that won't put us on for Niv. Yeah, let's get down Halimar Depths. And then Steam Augury. I actually kind of like that. If we go for Pluto Delta, we'll be able to get rid of... I mean, Steam Augury is nice, but I think what we want is a little bit more action. So let's go Island, let's go Steam Augury, and let's put Pluto Delta on top. Let's go ahead and get down Lightning Greaves, and that's still going to keep us on for Mana Drain. Let's say our opponent does tap out. They are looking at 5, at least 5 total mana on the battlefield without them making the land drop this turn. So if we can catch something off of Mana Drain, that'll definitely help us. Hopefully maybe get down Niv-Mizzet and maybe get down Dawson of Perfection, just kind of depending on how it goes. But I think I'm okay making this trade. Let's go for blue and go double blue off Mana Drain. I'm so glad that Mana... we got... Is it Spell Pierce? Is Swan Song, okay. That's fine. I'm okay with that interaction. We still get a bird token on the battlefield. And I think we can still get down Niv and swing in, which is basically going to be pretty good for us, so I'll take that. Let's go and get down Cascade Bluffs. Let's go and go for Niv-Mizzet. Okay, get down Niv-Mizzet. We're going to be able to get Lightning Greaves onto Niv-Mizzet, and that will allow us to swing in for at least 7 damage in the air. Niv-Mizzet's got his pet bird with him, named Frank. But y'all didn't know that. If you read up on the magic lore, Niv-Mizzet does have a pet bird, and his name is Frank, so... And I'm totally making that up. All right, we're going to swing across for 7, knock them down to 20. It's been a long recording day. Knock them down to 23, and that is 5 total commander damage. And then we'll go and pass the turn. But we're in a really good position at this point with Niv-Mizzet. When you play against Kira, you know, you're always in for some sort of control matchup, you know, just given her nature. But thankfully, with us having Niv protected with Lightning Greaves, you know, the only thing we really have to watch out for is something like Cyclonic Rift. That's going to send everything back to the hand. And especially once we get down Dawson of Perfection, that's going to allow us to start cashing in some of our instant and sorceries for insect tokens, which is always really cool to get mini delvers on the battlefield. We'll be in a really good position to build up a nice board state. That's one of the fun things about building a blue-red kind of spellslinger deck like this, is that getting down something like Dawson of Perfection, you know, you're doing your normal game plan of compulsive research, getting some good card advantage and different things like that, but being able to cash in some extra tokens is always really good. Opponent says, they do have a pretty good chunk of mana on their side of the battlefield. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that does put them in the Cyclonic Rift range. So we'll see if that's what they're debating at this point right now. If they do end up tapping out for Cyclonic Rift, even if they're worried about some sort of counter magic, we can still at least redeploy Niv-Mizzet, and then whatever sort of instant or sorcery they are going for, at the very bare minimum, we at least get a card draw off of Niv-Mizzet, so that's always nice. Okay, but let's go for Sculpting Steel. Enters the battlefield of any artifact on the battlefield. So it's either going to be Lightning Greaves or Chromatic. Oh, excuse me, 3 Dynamo. That does make sense. And that's going to be 3. Yeah, we'll see what they're going to get down. That's a ton of mana on our opponent's side of the battlefield. Okay, and they go for Gilded Drake. So they can't, yeah, they can gain control of our bird. They stole Frank. They stole Niv-Mizzet's bird, Frankie. That's not, okay, we're coming in hot in this term. We've got to take that. I'm glad we do have Lightning Greaves, because if our opponent had Niv-Mizzet and Kira, that would just be, whoa, that'd be brutal. Oh, and we get down Tezzeret. Look at that. And go for the +1 on the Thopter. Now, the good thing about Niv-Mizzet is that we can deal direct damage to any target. So, simply going for Compulsive Research, that's going to be 3 card draw. We can distribute that among either Frankie, which we don't really want to do that to Frankie. He's Niv-Mizzet's pet bird, but we'll see. It's going to go for... yeah, let's send one on, at least on the Thopter token. That way we have a clear shot at either Niv-Mizzet, Tezzeret, or we can swing it with Gilded Drake on Tezzeret too. We draw into Steam Augury. Let's go and get down Polluted Delta. Yeah, let's go and crack Polluted Delta. That way we can kind of get a fresh look at the top part of our library. Let's grab Volcanic Island. And let's go and go for Compulsive Research. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we don't have enough to go for Dawson and that. So let's go and go for Compulsive Research. Definitely want to target ourselves with this one. Let's send 1 damage over to Tezzeret. And then we have to discard 2 cards. Ooh, I like Delay in this particular matchup. And we can go for Chart of Course, too. And I also like Bloodwater Entity in this match. Oh, man. Let's go and get rid of Steam Augury. And I guess if we're going to hold on to Delay, let's get rid of Chart of Course. Either way, we're still going to be able to bring him back with Entity, so we'll be okay. Let's go and send 1 more damage over to Niv. That's going to put him down to 4, puts him down to 3, and we'll send 1 damage up top to our opponent, putting them down to 22. And we can use the Stake Oil Salesman Gilded Drake to take care of Tezzeret. Let's go and swing across on our opponent. Let's have Niv-Mizzet swing in, and then we'll have Gilded Drake swinging at Tezzeret. It's going to take care of Tezzeret, put them down to 17. That's going to be 10 total commander damage. And then at this point, yeah, let's just go and pass the turn. You know, we've got Mission Briefing on Mana Drain if we want to go for that. We still have Delay out of the hand, and we're just in a really good position just to kind of sit back and, you know, kind of be the control aggressor on this one, you know, really stop what they're doing and then kind of swing it on the back end with Niv-Mizzet. Now, unfortunately, with Frankie on our opponent's side of the battlefield, we do have to deal 2 damage to Frankie, so we don't really want to see our bird token cry. That's not going to be a lot of fun. Do we want to go for a Mission Briefing on Mana Drain? That'd pretty much be every instant in our hand. And I think at this point, we're okay with Sad Robot on the battlefield, because it's just basically just a creature on the ground. And if we're going to get it done, we're going to get it done with Niv-Mizzet in the air. We're looking at about at least a 3-turn clock with commander damage, or even making it a little bit quicker if we draw into some sort of wheel effect. So I think we're okay with Sad Robot hitting the battlefield. And opponents will go for a Glass Spinner. Yeah, let's go ahead and go for Delay. I think that sounds good. Yeah, let's go for Delay. It's going to send it back to the command zone. We're going to be able to at least draw out a card off of that Delay and deal 1 damage to our opponent. Drawn to Hour of Devastation. Let's send 1 damage up top. Okay, that's going to send her back to the command zone. Now, if we want to, we can actually use Mission Briefing as a way to kind of like dig a little bit deeper into our library. But is that exactly what we want to go for? We can use that next turn. We're looking at something like Steam Augury or Mana Drain. Yeah, let's just see what we draw into. Worst case scenario, we still have Hour of Devastation to simply just kind of clean this board up. So I think we're okay with that. And then who do we want to target with this one? Let's target Glass Spinner. Because that way, yeah, we can get rid of that flying. They're going to be able to counter that ability. But the main thing is we go for Mission Briefing, and that's going to basically, we've kind of broke the seal on the Glass Spinner. So now we can take care of her and then get rid of Frankie. I was going to get Mountain down. Let's go for Mission Briefing. We're going to get the Surveil for 2 with Jason and Chrome Mox. which are both absolutely really good. Yeah, let's go, just go and leave those on top. I think I like that. Chromox on top, Jace on top, and let's go and choose Compulsive Research. Definitely want us to draw off of this. So we're going to draw into Jace. It's going to send that one last damage over to Glass Spinner. And that'll allow us to use this last card draw for Compulsive Research to take care of Frankie Bird. Alright, so let's go ahead and discard at this point right now. We'll get rid of a land. We're going to get rid of Steam Vents, because Desolate Lighthouse will come into play. Still, 1 damage to Frankie, 1 damage to Frankie, and then 1 damage up top to our opponent. It's going to put them down to 15. It's going to go for Chromox. Actually, yeah. Well, yeah, we can still go for Chromox. Get down Chromox. We'll exile something out of our hand. We'll go and exile Dawson of Perfection. Do we want to go for Wheel of Fortune? That's going to be 7. Yeah, let's go for that. Let's go for Wheel of Fortune. So we're going to be able to draw a card. This is going to be 1 more damage. Or at least deal 1 damage to Sad Robot. And then, ooh, Mystical Tutor. That'll be another card draw too. In fact, yeah, let's go and go for Mystical Tutor. That way we can still at least just cash in another card draw, do 1 more damage to Sad Robot. And I think that might be lethal. We'll see. They do get to draw a card, but whatever card they draw, it's going to get shuffled away with a Wheel of Fortune. And we'll decide what we want to put on top with Mystical Tutor. Let's just go for Time Twister. I feel that's going to be the best bet. Actually, we'll go for Pact of Negation. That way if something nutty happens. So Pact of Negation is going to go on top. We'll draw into Pact of Negation. And we're going to send all this damage across to our opponent. Okay, let's go and swing across, and actually that's going to be lethal, yeah, with Niv-Mizzet and Gilded Drake. That'll put them down to exactly 0. So there we go. Good game to our opponent. It's always fun to get to play against matches like this. You can see how just absolutely brutal Niv-Mizzet can be once you get him down on the battlefield. And, you know, once he gets his pet bird on the battlefield, Frankie, and then somebody steals Frankie, Niv-Mizzet's not really happy. And so he came back with a vengeance to go for Wheel of Fortune, and it's almost like kind of like playing Necasaur sometimes with Niv-Mizzet. It's just wild. Anyway, I love it. So if you enjoyed your time in the Izzet Laboratory and you enjoyed your time with Frankie, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Niv-Mizzet. As far as opening hand goes, we have Coliseum, we have Arid Mesa, Remand. Yeah, I guess, we'll keep on this one. It's not too bad. All we got to do is get to 3 mana, and if we don't like what we draw into, we go for Wheel of Fortune, or at the very least, we have least act Faden to get down and get some good card advantage going. And we also have Remand too, so if we can catch something with Remand, I would highly enjoy that. So let's go and lead off with Arid Mesa. In fact, let's go and crack Arid Mesa, and we'll go and grab Steam Vents. That way we don't have to worry about grabbing it on our opponent's turn, and then we will not pay that 2 life, and we'll go and pass turn to our opponent. But yes, welcome to Niv-Mizzet. Hope you're excited to hop into the Izzet Laboratory and see what sort of fun spells we can get going for Karametra. We're playing Niv-Mizzet. This spell cannot be countered flying. Whenever you draw a card, Niv-Mizzet deals 1 damage to any target. Then, whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, you draw a card. Let's go and get down Island. And then let's go and pass the turn to our opponent. Playing against Karametra, God of Harvest Moon. Indestructible Devotion 7. Turns into a creature. Then, whenever you cast a creature spell, you may search your library for a forest or a plains card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. And if you're new to Magic, with Karametra, the way it's worded, do we want to... I think we're fine with the Remand on that. Yeah, why not? Let's set the tone. All right, drawing an island. That's awesome. We just need to find a few more mountains, and then we'll be good to go. Ooh, drawing a young Pyromancer. Okay, let's do that. Let's go for Dak Faden. And then we'll worry about getting down young Pyromancer next turn. Let's go for Dak Faden. Target player draws 2 cards and discards 2 cards. And oh, that is beautiful. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. I guess at this point right now, we get rid of Wheel of Fortune. Man, that's going to be so good with Niv-Mizzet. Let's get rid of Coliseum. We should hit another colored source. And then we have to get rid of 1 more card too. Yeah, we'll get rid of Pongify. I like Mission Briefing in this one. It's going to allow us to dig deep, and basically it's going to act as a stat caster for the deck, and we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yeah, and also, if you're new to Magic, what I was saying is that with Karametra, when it says you can search your library for a forest or a plains card, that can certainly be a basic land, but it can also be, something that is classified, something like Temple Garden, that is a forest and a plain, so you can grab both of those off of Karametra. A little more you know. It's going to get down Volcanic Island. Yeah, let's get down Young Pyromancer. I'm okay with that. Let's go for Young Pyromancer. Let's go for Dak Faden activation. Draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. Spire Bluff Canal, then Legacy. Let's go and get rid of Rhystic Study. And then we'll go and get rid of Legacy. Actually, we'll get rid of Spire Bluff Canal, because Legacy, we'll be able to cash that in for a... yeah, I think I like that. We can cash that in for at least a card draw for next turn, depending on what we draw into. And then hopefully we just hit that 6 land drop, be able to get down Niv and kind of go from there. But we did cover both commanders, so it is free time. Talk about whatever we want. Now with Niv, there's not really much I've changed with Niv since the last time that we recorded. It's still basically just a blue-red good stuff deck, trying to get down Niv as quickly as possible and going from there. It's going to get down, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to get down Shivan Reeve. We're going to go for Dak Fade and Activation again, because once we get it to the 6, we can start gaining control of some stuff. Let's get rid of Islands, get rid of Signet. Actually, we'll get rid of Polluted Delta. Yeah, we're good with that. Let's go to get down Izzet Signet. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for next turn. And then that puts us on for either Mission Briefing on Wheel of Fortune on the back end or Legacy. Yeah, either way. Let's go ahead and pass the turn to our opponent. We'll get down Niv next turn and really kind of start going from there. But yeah, playing against Karametra. It's always fun playing against her because there's a lot of different builds you can go with Karametra. One of the more fun builds that I've seen is you go Karametra Enchantress. Basically, whenever you combine some sort of really good value engine like Karametra, being able to get a ton of lands on the battlefield, with some sort of card draw engine like Enchantress, it just makes for some really nice kind of overlapping value with Karametra and Enchantress. So seeing the different builds of Karametra, she's just one of those commanders that's open for really whatever you want to do. And you know, if opponent's going for a little bit more of a stacks build or kind of like a controlling build, that's also pretty fun too. Opponent's going to go for Harmonic Sliver. Enters the battlefield, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Okay. Now we can't go for Mission Briefing and reman that Harmonic Sliver. I think I like that. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and add that double blue. Let's go for Mission Briefing. That's going to give us another token on the battlefield, and we'll at least be able to stop that Harmonic Sliver from stopping Izzet Signet. And let's go ahead and do this. Let's go and put Flooded Strand into the graveyard. And we're going to put Pull from Tomorrow on top of our library. And let's go and cast Remand. We're going to send the Harmonic Sliver back to our opponent's hand, cash in, draw that Pull from Tomorrow, and get another token on the battlefield. And draw into Jason Mind Sculptor. If they're going to end up going for Harmonic Sliver, I'm a-okay with going for Niv-Mizzet. So let's do this. Let's go and get down Niv-Mizzet. Let's go and get down Niv. And let's go for Jace, go for Dak Fade, and target player draws 2 cards and discard 2 cards. And I really like Reliquary Tale. Let's get rid of Legacy. And I like Prophetic Bolt really good in this one. Yeah, let's get rid of Jace. You know, I'd love to get that Brainstorm going, but since we already have Dak Fade on the battlefield, we're in a really good position. So let's go for the -1, or get the 1 damage to Aven Mind Sensor. And let's go 1 damage to Elvis Visionary. Okay, let's go and push across with Young Pyromancer and the 2 Elemental tokens. There we go. Swing across for 4, knock him down to 26, and then we're going to pass the turn to our opponent. So they do have Harmonic Sliver in the hand. We do have to watch out for that. But thankfully, we do have Prophetic Bolt that's going to allow us to deal 4 damage to any target, so we can send that damage directly to our opponent's face and get some really good card advantage by kind of digging a little bit, looking at the top part of our library. If we want to, we can still go for Wheel of Fortune too. That's something that we can certainly get going. Draw into Mana Drain. All right, let's go and deal 1 damage to Soul of the Harvest? Yeah, I think I like that, because we're going to get rid of that Soul of the Harvest, especially once we go for a Dak Fade, and that was just a wonderful draw for that Mana Drain. Let's go for Dak Fade and draw 2 cards. It's going to get rid of Chart of Course, and it's going to get rid of Izzet Charm. Let's go Soul of Harvest, is going to be 2. Let's send 1 more damage up top to our opponent, put them down to 25. Let's go for Prophetic Bolt for 4 damage. That's going to give us another token off of Young Pyromancer and get another card draw off of Niv-Mizzet. 1 damage to our opponent. And at this point, we'll probably just go and grab Snapcaster Mage. That's going to be the best option for us. We're going to put those on the bottom in any order. 1 more damage to the Soul of Harvest. It's going to swing across with the entire crew. That's going to be 7 between Niv and Young Pyromancer, and then 8 and 9 with the other elementals. So I'm going to knock them down to 15. And unfortunately, the way we tapped our mana, I did keep us off of Mana Drain, so that is my fault. There's a lot of times where, you know, certain sequencing like that, I'm trying to figure out, do we go for Wheel of Fortune? Do we do this? Do we do that? And then sometimes, tapping mana down the wrong way is one of those ways that certainly does happen. So hopefully we won't come back to bite us in the end for that. Opponent's going to go for Karametra Guide, bringing a Soul of Harvest back onto the battlefield. And that does leave us Hour of Devastation if we wanted to go for that. It's drawn to Wandering. Let's go ahead and send 1 damage. Yeah, let's go and take care of Soul of Harvest again. I'm okay with that. Let's go and go for Dak Fate, and target player draws 2 cards and discard 2 cards. Let's go and get rid of Wandering, and let's go and get rid of Mana Confluence. It's going to be 1 damage to Karametra Guide. Let's go and get down Mountain. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 8 total mana, so we're looking at Snapcaster and Prophetic Bolt. That's going to be 7. That's going to keep us off of going for Wheel of Fortune too. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go for Wheel of Fortune. I'm okay with going for Wheel of Fortune. That's going to be a ton of card draw. We're going to get an extra elemental token on the battlefield. Get rid of Soul of the Harvest. That's going to deal 1 damage to Soul of Harvest. And let's go and go for Niv. That's going to be, should be 3, 4, 5, and then 6. And then we'll send the last 3 up to our opponent, putting them down to 12. Okay, and let's go and go into combat. All right, that's going to be 10, knock them all the way down to 2, and then basically with Ponder and also going for Phyrexian Metamorph, that's going to allow us to basically, hopefully get a little bit extra card advantage and kind of close it out. We did draw into Expansion and Explosion. That was something that we could deal some extra damage to our opponent, but you can see through some really nice tempo plays early on, getting down something as easy as Remand on Elvish Visionary, kind of setting them back a turn, being able to Remand on that Harmonic Sliver. That's really allowed us to kind of open up that gateway to get down Niv-Mizzet, because once you get down Niv-Mizzet on the battlefield, it is absolutely brutal. If you don't have some spot removal for him, immediately he gets down, and there's really not... just the value that he generates between drawing a card, dealing damage, it's just absolutely nutty, as you can see. Especially being able to turn a Wheel of Fortune into kind of like a board wipe, and at the same time giving you some good card advantage. So, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.